Yeah, we
to
can.
crack them open.
Yeah, we can crack them open. I think that's probably the best thing.
All right, welcome to episode 5 of the Jaime and Jay podcast. The best version of you doesn't happen overnight.
Boom.
We were told to cheer these LaCroix and open them up at the beginning. So, the first topic of today, we're actually going to start off with the goals instead of finishing with them because it's the end of the month. Well, we have 2 more days, right? But
It's the end of the month.
yeah. I mean, we can kind of have a good idea right now of where everything's going to be at. So,
Yeah,
let's
and I kind of wanted to start it off too, just because you told me something the other day. Like it was kind of like in the middle of the madness, right? Like we were all busy. I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was a day that I came in. I sold 3 cars, and you looked like you were pretty busy the whole day. And then
I
you
think I
told me,
saw 2.
yeah. I mean, any day that you sell multiple cars in a day, doesn't matter if it's one and a half or even 2 halves. I feel like 2 halves is pretty. It's a pretty badass thing to do, just because you feel like, hey, like you're doing it multiple times, like, and if you just keep on doing that where it's multiple times, like, imagine, that's how you get to 20 cars. It's how you get to 30 cars, and then it also makes up for the days that you're not selling cars, because there are days, the Tuesdays and Wednesdays, maybe sometimes the Thursdays, that you just don't get in front of anybody, but you have to, like, what are you doing to get better for tomorrow, right? So you came up to me and you said, like, bro, like, I'm finally selling the leads that I've been picking up after however many weeks we've been doing this. I think it's probably been since the beginning of the month, right? Because we made these goals, and I said, how are we gonna get there? And you said, oh, I'm gonna pick up 1 lead a day, right? And then
Yeah.
it ended up being a whole bigger thing than that, right? There's a time where, man, like, everybody was getting mad because you were picking up all the leads, right? Like, it's like, oh man, like a new player got announced in this
Oh yeah,
in this
I was
game.
snagging them. I was real aggressive on it. Yeah, that was probably like the second week maybe of the month, and I remember like fuck, that week was tough because switching. And that was the week I lost my phone, and then I'm
Oh
switching
yeah.
over to the lead, so I'm not getting like the instant gratification of getting in front of customers right away. So everything kind of like slipped like underneath me a little bit. For a few days, it wasn't like I wasn't selling anything because I'm just like preparing to sell shit for the weekend. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, like shit didn't even pan out. Like I had set a bunch of appointments. A few of them didn't come in, and then I ended up selling fresh ups anyway. But I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like I'm already like in the groove of picking up the leads. Like I'm gonna just keep on doing it, because I gotta get better at it too. Um, Whenever I would pick up leads at the Dodge store, we were
Was it kind of similar, like the same type of setup, or?
no, not at all. I was given leads. They weren't
Okay.
like picked up really. Whenever I first started, there was like a little group chat, and it's like available sales, and you like just put me like whatever.
Okay.
But then after that, they kind of started being passed out. But whenever I would get a lead, we had a BDC, so it was a solid thing. Like it was very very rare that you got a lead and the person didn't answer right away, and they knew exactly what you were calling about. Like everything was already explained to them. It was just okay. I'm transferring you over to a salesperson, so you can get some videos or something like that. Usually, everything was done for you.
It's not where like somebody inquires and they're like, "Why are you calling me? What sir, you inquired?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, exactly. That was all filtered out already for us, right?
Yeah.
And then we had we have the best prices at North Park, right?
Yeah.
But the
Yeah, I
other
know
stores
that.
will get very aggressive too. It's not like we stand like super far above everybody else. Whenever I was at Ancira, like our cars were priced significantly less than everybody else because every other Dodge dealership had like 4 to 10 grand worth of ads that they weren't gonna take off.
Oh yeah.
So all of our competition. So if somebody inquired with us, like they were staying with us. They weren't gonna go find a better deal somewhere. Like we laugh at them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go up to Bernie. They said they would do this," and we're like, "Ha ha ha!" Like,
Sure,
go ahead.
buddy.
Yeah.
Sure, but go find out and come
Yeah,
back.
I'll see you in a couple hours, and then they'd pull back up. Oh, yeah, I'm like,
I just didn't like the color.
yeah. So Bernie would go, fuck with them for a few hours, and then
Yeah,
they'd come back to
sure.
us after they finally give them their keys back, right?
Yeah.
Over here, it's like, oh fuck, like man, I set an appointment for the weekend, and they're like, oh, we bought like a day before, and I'm like, well, you told me the first day, like the quickest that you could come in was Saturday, but then you bought somewhere else before. It's like, okay, fuck, like I guess these other people, whenever they get the same lead as us at the other dealerships, they're a lot more aggressive in their, so I
Yeah.
had to like kind of get used to working as much as you can over the phone to kind of like solidify something, because if you don't solidify, you can't just be like, oh, what time are you gonna be here? Okay, you'll be here Thursday at 6. All right, I'll see you then. And then hang up with them. You know, like you have to do as much as you can, like lock them in somehow, so they come to you. And you know, I didn't kind of get that until like maybe like the second week of picking up the leads, and then everything started becoming a little bit more fluid. And then last Friday, I finally like sold like on the weekend, I sold like 3 of them for the month, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you saw the benefits out of it. Another thing too, bro, is like little side note, right? We have to look at the bigger picture, right? I tell my customers, I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm sure you notice we are in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around us. You got a Valero with the Subway. You got the gas stations. They're working on it right now. So they have a whole like side building and stuff like that. There's really nothing around us, and so like we have to make our customers want to come out here. There has to be a reason for them to come out here. There's nobody that's just like, oh yeah, I'm just strolling by. I just saw you had a red Tundra and I wanted to check it out. Like, no, like if you want to come to North Park, you really have to want to come to North Park. And so like that's when it comes to our pricing, right? I had a customer that on Saturday, they had came in on a truck that I told them, hey, you know, maybe we're not gonna lose your business over a couple $100. I mean, if you want a little bit better deal on the one that's more expensive, I mean, we'll help you out. And then they came in. They didn't set an appointment. They just showed up, right? And then sure enough, that vehicle sold like literally moments right before they got here. And then so they didn't want to bump. They wanted specific colors, right? And that one was a Tacoma, right? The one they wanted originally was 2-wheel drive, but we weren't gonna get it to next month. But I said, well, we have a 4x4 in stock, right? And you obviously see that our prices are crazy, right? And we're very much trying to get as many units out as possible, right? And then so I remember it was a girl, and the girl came out with the dad. The dad was like, well, is there anything better you can do for the pricing? And I was just like, no. No, like,
yeah,
there's a reason why you came all the way down here. I saw the address on your driver license. You're nowhere near here. Like, there's a reason for it. You passed by 3 Toyota dealerships to get here, and there's a reason why you came to us. I'm like, and if, yeah, maybe a couple $100 more off could have made you happier, but you're already happy because you're here, because you're getting some crazy pricing, right? I was like, yeah, maybe we're charging you for 10. I was like, but we're already discounting the vehicle to take care of that, you know. At least you're getting 10 out of it, you know. So it's very much they're like, well, you know, we're gonna think about it, you know. And I was like, yeah, you know, no worries. I can go ahead and think about it. Just keep in mind that once our pricing changes, I mean, the deal's off the table, you know. And so literally like an hour later, like, all right, we're ready to put a deposit down. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, bro. So it's very much we already, this is all calculated, right? We already know that where we're at. We know we have to be aggressive when it comes to this stuff, right? And then so I told him, I was like, you don't want to pay for 10, but I was like, you can go pay $8,000 of ads down the street if you wanted to, you know. But and then they're like, yo, we already know, we already went there. I was like, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so I had to learn the word tracks too. One thing that I got from you was hey, I'm one of 60 salesmen. We sell 900 cars a month. This car is going to sell. And I missed emphasizing that to certain customers, and I probably missed a lot of deals because of it. Now that I started like saying that, no matter what it is, because even if I don't think the car is this shit, like, I'm still one of 60 salesmen. I have to say that out loud for them, but not only for them, but for myself. So I can remind myself that, hey, this vehicle will probably not be here whenever they decide it's comfortable for them to come in. Yeah. You know, and once I started saying that, all of a sudden my leads were like, okay, I can be there in a few hours. You know, there was a guy, he said, oh, I'm going to come in first, like, it's like 9:30 in the morning on Saturday is the one I sold. It's 9:30, and he says, oh, okay. He's like, well, I'm going to go look at this Volvo. He's like, I can maybe come in at 11:30. I said, sir, you're coming to look at a car that's $12,000 and it only has 35,000 miles. This is an absolute steal. If anybody comes in here looking for a cheap car or they don't have good credit, this is the vehicle that they're going to put them on.
You know what I always say? I was like, sir, I don't even want to tell them that you're coming later, right? I just want you to show up, because even if the managers look into this, they're going to realize, damn, why did we price this car so low? And they might change the pricing, sir. I was like, you got to get here as soon as possible so you can take advantage of that pricing. And they're like, you're right. I got to get there. Like, can you come pick me up? Like, I've had those.
Can you come pick me up? I sent him a video, and then he's like, all right, we'll be there in 30 minutes. And they didn't even go look at the Volvo.
Exactly.
Because our car was so clean and it was priced so aggressive. But if I didn't put that fire underneath his ass, one, he might have bought the Volvo, you know, just
Yeah,
because of
it's a
convenience.
nice,
He
yeah.
went there first, or two, we might have sold the car before he came in. So I definitely had to switch that, like, and start building urgency, with the leads, because it's like, damn, you know, in the reality of it, I am one of 60 salesmen. The chances of somebody else selling the car, the lead that I sold before, um, I got lucky, right? Because I was quicker, but I was holding the keys for like a few hours. You know, he said, "Yeah, I can make it in today." He's like, "I'll be there in a couple hours," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I go pull the keys and I'm holding on to it. Nobody asked for it. 3 minutes before he arrived, someone came up to
Yeah.
me and asked for the keys,
Yeah.
and luckily, I closed him before he closed his customer, so I ended up getting it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was like a gentleman's thing. I guess not everybody would do that, but the salesman told me like, "Hey, whoever closes it first, I mean, gets it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool." Because some people will be kind of like,
Yeah. No, I'm very much no, my customer's in the restroom. Yeah, you know, like no, he's in the restroom. He's taking a dump right now. You know, give him some time, and yeah, we're gonna come back from a test drive actually, and then I'll get it to you. No, so it's almost like the saying that we've kind of said multiple times here is like the success you're looking for is hiding in the results that the success you're looking for is hiding in the work you're avoiding, right? And so you said that we had goals this month, right? You wanted to sell 15, I wanted to sell 30, right? Update on that, we're probably not going to hit our goals, right? But the thing is that we failed here, we learned from it, and then next month's going to be completely better because of it.
yeah,
I
100%. We'll
yeah,
be sharper. I think that, yeah, we can't be mad that, you know, the first month that we said, oh, we're going to do this,
yeah,
it didn't pan out. And then, you know, as much as it's such a great thing and a great feeling, and we've talked about this, is that we can't avoid it. Like, the reality of it is doing the podcast does distract us from work, because whenever we're at work, we're thinking about, all right, what's going to be on the next episode? What can we do to make it better? Like, I'm always constantly looking for like
an escape from the stuff.
equipment and stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
escape too, right? But equipment, like, okay, what else can we use to better the quality? Like, dude, I just got a new lens last week for the episode. I mean, the lighting looked a lot better, and then, you know, I'm researching, okay, well, how can I position the lights here to give it the best quality, do everything we can possible to make the podcast look good and sound good, and, you know, make it presentable for people so they take it serious. Because if we don't look serious or we don't sound serious, no one's going to take us serious. That distracted us a little bit from work. Maybe like the newness of it has like gone away a little bit, so we might be able to settle in just a little bit more. You know, not that we're not going to be focused on the podcast, but it's not like
Not
we're
so
bursting out with like, oh, this idea constantly at work. And it's a little bit of a distraction, you know, and kind of separating the two. And then we also have the other things in our life, you know, like you making time for the gym.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a struggle for you this month too, doing the podcast, trying to sell all these cars, especially in a slow month like June. And then
and the one thing too is like we have to keep in mind. So I've said it before too. Like anytime that I add something extra into my life, I know that the other things are gonna lack a little bit, right? So there are growing pains, right? What do you say?
you should have a smaller shirt. Kid.
And so there are like growing pains in certain things, right? So like there was I think it was Thursday. It was Thursday because we were both there, and then I said, and I told you, I was like, hey, bro, I don't know why, like, but Gmail was giving me the hardest time making an account yesterday. I was there for a couple minutes, and I just like kind of rage quit, whatever. Like, I was like, so I'm gonna try to get that done today. And then this is us at work, and you were like, bro, it's the end of the month. We should probably like try to sell some cars, make some money, right? And then it ended up just being like a kind of like a crappy day for both of us, I think, right? It was just like the meetings on top of the meetings, and you know, everybody's feeling the pressure of it being the last last week of the month, or last couple of days of the month. So we're feeling it from every angle, and then you know, so we're kind of getting you know, pushed by the management to try to obviously get more cars out, right? It's been a slow month, I think, as a market, so. And they're not going to see that way. They want us to sell as much as possible, right? So they're pushing us that way, and then it's very much like, oh, like what do you want me to do, like if nobody's buying cars, right? So it was very much like a hard day there. And then I was like, yeah, you're right. So I wanted to try to lock in, and then I was working, I was doing my thing, and then it was like, you know what, like I've already done enough stuff for today. And then I went and I figured out how to make the Gmail right. It finally worked. I made the TikTok and the Instagram page for the podcast, and then so these are things that like I'm not gonna have to do them again. You know, we're not gonna have to take time away from the podcast to do that again. And I think another thing too is the more we do it, the more efficient we're gonna be at it, right? So it's always just gonna like a flow a little bit easier, right? So when it's your first time, you're gonna take your time. You're gonna probably not do the best the first couple of times, and so it does take a little bit more time to do that stuff. So at least like going forward this next month, we hopefully we can be more efficient with everything, right? But another thing too is that we have also been saying that we're gonna work on our work content. We haven't even touched. We haven't even dabbled in those ideas. We only have ideas right now. But that's another thing too. Like once we get the time, is finding the time for that.
You know, luckily for that, we'll have a little bit of help because JC's been coming up to me and talking to me about it. And he says, hey, with or without you guys, I'm gonna start doing it. He's like, so. You know, he's like, I would like y'all's help. You know, he's like, so he's like, I'm not just the only one coming out in the videos. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if this guy is willing to, you know, come up with the ideas and everything, then, you know, that's a little bit less for us, and then somebody else to help film and, you know, put in a little bit of work, take a little bit of workload off of us, and we collaborate on it and put what we have and what we bring to the table. You know, the work content will definitely come, and whenever he comes up to us, and you know, ask us, hey, are you ready to shoot a video? We gotta just be like, all right, cool. If we're not doing anything, we don't got shit working, all right, let's go do this 30-second video real quick. Like, it's not gonna take us that long, and the benefits of it are, it'll be a long-term investment.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too though is that like it's very much again like the same topic, right? The success we're looking for is hiding, and the work we're avoiding, because JC posted the biggest deal of the month, the Sequoia that he sold. He posted it before. He was like, anybody looking for a Sequoia? And then later on that day, I see that he sold it, and I'm like, oh shit, you know. Wow. So I mean, you know, it's working for somebody.
Yeah.
And so as we're not reaping the benefits of doing it. I mean, we all know we're capable of it, but it's just putting it into action, right? We all want to get fitter. We all want to do all this stuff. We want to start a podcast. We want to start being better, but you know, at the end of the day, what are we actually doing to do it? You know, what are we actually doing to, like, what's the action behind it to accomplish these goals, right? And so I know we have to fail, but if we don't even start, I mean, how are we supposed to get better? How are we actually supposed to perfect what we're gonna do? You know, so it's something that we're gonna work on for sure.
Yeah, and then I guess we can. That's pretty much enough about the sales goals. We can kind of get into our personal goals. I more than likely like failed at mine. I mean, I was supposed to make a song, a good one. I started on it. Actually started on multiple songs and made a few concepts, and I was not rocking with anything. Maybe I was in my head a little bit too much about it because it was like a goal. So whenever the song wasn't coming out like great, like I'll get crapped out, and I'm like, no, like I'm done with this concept. So I ended up going through like 3 concepts, and more than likely I'm not gonna get the song done. I mean, tomorrow we're bell to bell. I think on Tuesday we're also bell to bell. So that one kind of took to the back burner. I ended up getting pretty close to at least like the sales goals, and then for my fitness goals, I definitely have lost a little bit of weight. It's not a whole lot, right? I'm not saying that I'm sitting here fucking way leaner than I was before, but I definitely noticed, like, especially in the right lighting, which our lighting here is not like above us, so you can't really see like all of my definition, right? Even if I fucking flex it here, which I'm gonna fix. I'm gonna figure out how to get the lighting in here like the gym lighting. But you know, in the gym lighting, I definitely noticed the difference between my definition of my arms. So I know that I have lost a little bit of fat. I burned a little bit off. For the most part, I've ate pretty decent. So I think that the fitness goals went pretty good. The sales goals, we got close. I mean, I fell a little bit short, but I feel like if I would have started off with the leads in the very, very beginning of the month, then maybe we could have hit it. And then starting off this month, I'm kind of in the hang of that, and I'll probably have a little bit more time to myself this month going on. I had a lot of family stuff going on this month, so and then plus the podcast, everything. It was a slow month. I had to work extra, so I think that this set up July to be. Also, it's my birth month, July. This set up July to be a really, really good month.
Gotta go off. We gotta go off, bro.
And then let's talk about your personal goal, right? Because you wanted to do time management. How do you think that you did? You know, like to, because that one's a little bit tough to.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a number or anything like that. It's like
that's a life thing.
Yeah, it's a perspective thing, right?
Yeah, and so I'm always gonna be hard on myself, right? So like me thinking that I'm just gonna figure out my time management at that point, like in a month, is kind of unrealistic, right? It's not not definitely something that I don't think it was gonna happen like overnight. Well, that's probably the biggest thing, right? The topic of the whole podcast, right? The best version of yourself doesn't happen overnight. I noticed though is like my days off, bro. I've been getting so much stuff done because it's very much like, hey, like I just had to be, one is being present in the moment you're in, right? Enjoying the time you have with certain people. And so like obviously making more with the time you do have. We can't make more time, but we can make do better things with the time we do have, right? So it's doing that, but like, bro, I'll make my it's very much a divide and conquer type of thing, right? I make a list of the things I need to do. The most important things are at the top. I'll try to knock out those things, try to make it in the most efficient ways possible, and then obviously don't beat myself up when I don't get everything done, but know that because I planned it this way, I got so much more done than I would have got done any other way. So it's been a whole lot better. Now, that being said, too, we are limited on our time, right? So my other goals may have, when I say my fitness goals is like I'm usually in there five times a week and minimum. And this past 2 weeks, it's been 4 times. And you know what it is that I don't. I've been going at times where it's very much like a time constraint because either I need to get to bed as soon as possible or I need to get to work. And so I haven't been going as hard in the gym. So I definitely feel it a little bit. But I feel a little weaker, right? So it's me in my head, but I also have to realize that my goals right now is to get leaner and get a little bit like better when it comes to like how I look and how I feel, right? So that's kind of one of the things is I have to keep in mind what my actual goal is, right? And just keep on working forward to it. So it's very much, did I move in the right direction? Yeah. I'm more aware of these certain things. Did I accomplish them? I'm like, it's kind of a hard thing to accomplish in a month, right? So we're just going to keep on going with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can take it back a little bit to what you just said there because I think it's like the perfect transition to get into the next topic. You have mentioned that you're trying to get a little bit leaner, and you have to kind of accept the reality that you're gonna lose a little bit of your strength.
Yeah.
So I during the week I had seen this quote that Zac Efron, he was talking about read it the Baywatch quote.
Yeah, so he sent me this, and I mean, it's so true. So he says, Zac Efron says, I think men, just like women, have to be realistic. The shape I was in for Baywatch wasn't sustainable. I wasn't happy living the way I was to get in that shape. These days, I place a much bigger priority on my mental health. And so it's kind of like the same thing, yeah. Like, I have always been... not always, but especially after high school, I kind of placed a big importance on me being strong, right? So when I'm thinking about my overall goal right now is to get leaner, get a little bit more happy with the way I look in the mirror and how I feel. I have to realize is that I'm going to lose certain things, right? So I'm going to get a little bit weaker because I'm lower calories. I'm going to get a little bit weaker because I'm not doing as much weight. It's more like cardio and higher rep stuff. And so I have to keep in mind what my goal is, right? And I have to be happy with that because... excuse me, the strength is only so sustainable, right? Like, I mean, I can try to keep on benching 315 or whatever it is and be like, okay, cool, but like, what do I really get out of that, you know? So,
yeah, I've seen the quotes and it's like, all right, if you're trying to lose weight but build muscle, like the only way to do that is steroids.
yeah, unnatural way.
So it isn't natural for the body. A big thing that I took from the quote was just one right now. I mean, the body standards, and you know what? Yeah, they're super unrealistic and they're super inflated. And even then, I mean, we might put ourselves in that box. And I think that I'm real guilty of this. And I had showed Jaime some pictures of me when I was like a couple years younger, right? And I was super skinny and like super lean and defined. Now, the thing about that too is that I took that picture in absolute perfect lighting. You know, right after with the pump. So if you try to make yourself look like that all the time, like you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna kill your body. Like to be that lean like I was, and you know you fuck yourself up trying to like chase after, even if it's a picture of me, right? But trying to chase after a picture of something that you're seeing that's not like, I don't want to say it's not reality, but it's not a real, life
like,
image of you, because it is a picture.
It's like a death by comparison.
Yeah, and so whenever people get into that on like social media, is they're looking at like super enhanced. That photo's not edited that I showed you, but whenever you look at social media and stuff, is you're looking at somebody who's not only underneath perfect lighting and everything, but they also like edited the photo. Like, it's not that it's photoshopped to where like they're adding stuff that's not there, but they're changing it and like making the shadows more prominent.
Yeah.
To where everything looks a lot more defined than it actually is.
Yeah, the contrast a little bit higher.
Yeah, so it's like you're putting yourself onto a standard that's really like not even human.
Yeah, it's definitely unnatural, like to think that that's something that you can attain, right? And so it's almost like there's always gonna be a desire to be better, but we have to be realistic with it, right? Like you're trying to chase somebody you've never been before with with no plan, because you've never done it before, right? So it's all trial and error. Everybody's body's different too, bro. Like, you're not gonna look like your favorite bodybuilder. You're not gonna look like your favorite actor or actress. You're not gonna look anything 100%. Like it. You can take motivation from it, right? You can see somebody and be like, hey man, I would love to get as close as possible to that. But to think that like, hey, like I'm I'm gonna get this thing, like so many people,
especially not on gear, and you shouldn't even go to killing yourself to look like that. Because at the end of the day, like, steroids, they do take, your lifespan's probably shortening every time you take them.
Yeah, it's definitely like a unhealthier way to get there. And so there's a bunch of different ways to get to your goals, right? And we also have to keep in mind, bro, like our favorite people on social media that we follow, because maybe like it's a little bit of motivation to see them, like maybe they don't have the same lifestyle we do, there's not really a lot of people who I watch and I'm like, oh, they sell cars, and I'm like, I want to be just like that guy in every single way possible. Like, no, like it's nobody has the same lifestyle I have, so I can't compare myself when somebody has, maybe they work 8 hours a week, or maybe they don't even have a job and this is what they're doing full time. So like they have the time to do that stuff. And so why am I going to beat myself up about it when I really only have after work, before work, and I'm coming off of a 12-hour shift to try to accomplish this stuff, right? So it's very much going back into the same thing. The best version of yourself doesn't happen overnight. It's little by little. It's not all at once, right? It's like a divide and conquer thing. Like, we have to start conquering little things about ourselves to make better habits, so we can build the version of ourselves that we do want to be in the end. So. And another thing too is like almost pushing yourself to that point. Like, it's it's hard in the mental, bro, because you're like, man, like you're beating yourself up every single time. Like when you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see. And then maybe sometimes you do have to get to that point to make a change, right? To from maybe somebody who's not doing anything to get to doing something. But when you're already pushing yourself super hard, I've pushed myself to the point, bro, where I have injuries now because of me being unhappy with what I was doing at that time and just trying to push myself a little bit harder and not being ready for it.
Yeah, no, and you have brought this up to me, right? Not to sound fucked up or anything, but the reality of the situation is that most people aren't at that point where it's like, oh, you're pushing yourself too far to where it's like hurting your body, and like you're not gonna be like you're not healthy. In the pictures that I showed him, I was really, really skinny to the point where like, I was like losing a lot of my strength and my energy to be that lean, and I was like barely eating and stuff so I could get like real cut. Most people, especially at our age, aren't there. Like, you're a little further away, and that is not to get confused with our next topic, which is like complacency. You don't want to, just because it's uncomfortable to work out and eat pretty good, doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Like there's definitely a fine line between, okay, don't take it too far to where you're killing yourself and you're unhealthy, but also don't get so comfortable not going through anything, because you do have to struggle. You do have to feel pain, like whenever you're in the gym to see results. You do have to go in there whenever you don't feel like it. Just don't take it to the extreme once like you're in good shape, whatever. And you'll know whenever you're at that point. Like, I mean, come on, you can be realistic with yourself, right? Like, if you're at 30% body fat, like maybe yeah, you're a little far away from the 6-7% where it's like unhealthy.
Yeah.
So you still got like some cushion. You might need to push yourself a little harder.
But I think it's just as unhealthy to be that 30% body fat.
No,
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
goes,
was like,
yeah.
this is not for that. This is like, okay, you've been in the gym, you've been working hard, and you're at like 10%, and you're like, oh, I still want more because my favorite bodybuilder is 6-7%. Some of these guys hit like 4, and it's like it's like genuinely unhealthy. They could die from a fucking paper cut.
Yeah, and another thing too is like we're watching bodybuilders, but like if you ever watch any of their like vlogs or like their actual like YouTube videos where they're going through their cuts and stuff like that, like you can tell, bro, like they are so like down. Their mental is down. Like they don't have any calories, bro. Like,
And they also don't maintain it year round.
yeah, it's not no, yeah. And then you see like maybe I have a homie at the gym that he always comes up to me, bro, and there'll be certain times where he's super super lean. He got the cheekbones, and then like 2 months later, I haven't seen him in a while, and I see him again, and he's like blowed up, but he's like big. He's all swollen. He looks all big, but like that's just how bodybuilders are, bro. So it's an unrealistic thing to think that that's something that I can sustain year round, right? And another thing too is like I feel like most people aren't realistic enough with themselves that they almost feel like they'll never try because their actual the thing they're trying to attain is not, they don't feel like it's achievable, right? So it's very much certain things that you just have to start, you just have to jump. Same thing with this, right? Like we've been wanting to do this for a long time, and pretty much the only thing holding us back was just like us being complacent, saying like, hey, like yeah, we're gonna keep on doing it. Same thing with the work content, right? Us being complacent, like hey, saying like yeah, we're gonna get to it, we're gonna get to it when we get to it, but like if you want these things for your life, what are you actually doing to get them? Is there a plan, or are we planning to win, or are we planning to fail? Like it's either one. We're either growing or we're dying.
My homie here said, Miss J with my gym, bro, had me hitting abs every day. Yeah, whenever I had got like any of my homies in the gym, I would work out with them, and I would make everybody go real hard and like do workouts that they definitely weren't comfortable with. And me being as lean as I was, I knew in my head that it's different, right? Because it was a bunch of big guys, right, that I'm going to the gym with. So them doing the workouts that I was doing, it's a lot easier for me to do it at my weight than it was for them. But I pushed them so hard. He's like, yeah, he had me hitting abs. And he was a big dude, and then he ended up losing a bunch of weight. And then, by the time they know it, they're doing the shit that I'm doing, as big guys. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and it's very much, it's the same. Like I have topics or certain like lines I save to myself all the time, but these lines translate to everything, right? So I do stairs. Well, my favorite thing to do and for cardio is a stairmaster, right? And I'll do 30 minutes sometimes to an hour, right? It's very much like the hardest cardio machine in the gym, right? You can sit down on the bike or either one of the bikes, right? You can do treadmill, whatever. But I feel like the stairs is like, you can definitely push yourself a whole lot harder and get a whole lot fat. Like you can get through it a little bit easier if you were there mentally stronger. But if you're weak on the stairs, like it eats you up, bro. And so I always tell myself like the results or the success I'm looking for are in the work that we're avoiding, right? I never hit stairs because I know it was hard, and so I almost made myself do that stuff because I know it's what I needed, So it's how do I? It's the same thing, right, for my fitness goals, right? I can go to the gym all the time. I could do my cardio all the time. I can take my vitamins or whatever, my supplements, right? I can do all that stuff, right? But if I don't do the last thing, which is eating right, the calorie things, at that point, like, how am I going to be upset with myself, right? How am I going to be mad at myself that I didn't accomplish my goals when I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm going to be mad at myself because I'm not doing it? Like, no, bro. Like, I'm making sacrifices for my goals because I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to be comfortable, right? I want to eat the things I want to eat, and that's been one of my struggles for, like, since I was a kid, bro. Is like, I love to eat, bro. My grandma cooks, bro. Like, so when I'm at the family functions, my dad cooks too, really good. So I want to indulge, bro, So it's very much like, how if I don't make sacrifices for my goals, like nobody else is. And so at that point, like, I can't be mad at myself when I don't get these things because I'm not doing everything in my power possible to get to these goals, right? So I have to give myself grace. I have to know that it's not going to be overnight, right? I'm going to end up failing, right? I'm going to, like this month, we didn't hit our goals, right? Maybe, I don't even think we hit any of our goals, right? So we did certain little things, right? But at that point,
The
like,
micro goals we hit,
the micro goals,
but the main ones we didn't. And
yeah. So like, how do we can't be mad because we didn't do everything possible, but at least now we know we failed and we know what we did wrong. So now we know what to do. It's divide and conquer, bro. We're gonna come harder this month and make sure that like at this point, like we know what we're doing. We're gonna go full speed on it. We already have the momentum. The momentum is very much there for us right now. So I feel like we're at least starting from a way better standpoint than we did last month, where it was just all fresh stuff. So it's
yeah, because last month was like, okay, we're gonna try new things in order to get the payoff later on. And I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Even doing this, I had told you we're kind of, you know, feeling a little down about being stuck in the kind of cycle of having to spend so much time at work. You know, not that we don't enjoy what we do, but in the reality of it, if you gave me the choice, I wouldn't work. You know, if somebody said, okay, do you want to go to work and you can work and make $1 million, or I'm going to just pay you $1 million. Give me the fucking million so I can, you know, go do what I want to do.
Yeah, it's... Eventually,
I was telling Jaime that, you know, if we stick it out, right, because, you know, you do have to find motivation in yourself at work whenever you don't, well, what we do, right, because we're in sales, we don't get paid just for being there. So if we're not working, we're not getting paid. In those times, I told him, and you know, he's been saying this quote for a while here, like, the only way out is through. And so sometimes I got to remind him that.
Yeah.
Eventually, the little things that we're doing, like the podcast, you know, will give us a greater outreach, and hopefully will translate to more sales, and we can kind of like not sit back, but not have to like go and scrounge up a bunch of leads. Like, they'll come to us a lot smoother. So this podcast will be one form of it. And then, you know, obviously Jaime's talking about us doing like the content and stuff on Instagram to kind of bring more leads and stuff to us. Once we get that kind of smooth and in, it'll make the other goals a little bit more attainable, because we don't have to focus so much on like, okay, how are we going to get in front of people? How are we going to get in front of people? Because that takes the most time at work. Once we can kind of like minimize the time we have to spend, what's the word that you use? Like, damn.
Well, why
prospecting. Once we have to spend the least amount of time prospecting our customers, and we just have people who are coming in who are serious and want to come buy cars, every other goal will all of a sudden become a lot easier. You know, we'll have to spend less time at work, because we sell too. We get to go home.
Yeah.
You know, if we can streamline the sales process and streamline our prospecting, that's more time that we have for the podcast, for our personal goals, right? He wants to do time management. Would help that amazingly, right? My personal goal last month was to, you know, make a really good song, and I'll probably stick with the same personal goal this month, right? And hopefully we get it done this time. It'll make everything else easier, but it's all the little things that we have been pushing off that's gonna, you know, take us to where we want to go. And it's not going to happen right away, right? We're not going to start a podcast and then, you know, all of a sudden we're getting all of these views and we have, you know, 100,000 people watching. So sales are easy because people are hitting us up. Like, no, we have to build it. And how are we going to build it? We got to build it with the social media and the promotion, and then just, you know, consistency, right? I mean, we haven't missed a week yet. Hopefully we don't, but we can't say that it won't happen.
Yeah, eventually.
You know, realistically, yeah, like there might be a time where like some shit comes up for you or some shit comes up for me. Yeah. And we'll probably work around it. You know, if we can't do it on the Sundays like we usually do, like, fuck it, we'll do it on a Friday or a fucking Thursday, like, you know, right after work or something. Whenever it might work out that week, right? But all of the little things that we're trying to get started eventually will make everything that we want come easier. You know, because right now it's a little bit of stagnicity. Am I saying that right?
It's a little stagnant right now. Yeah,
it's a little bit of a stagnant period in order to figure out everything. You know, get all the kinks down, and then we'll smooth it out. And all of a sudden, you know, shit will kind of start coming easy to us. You know, like whenever I first started getting the leads, it's a little rough. I had to figure them out, and then now it's coming smoother. You know.
Yeah, so real quick, I want to say shout out Louis, because Louis has been here with us the whole time, and then I'm just blowing up the chat, right?
Yeah.
So shout out Louis. That's literally, I remember when I made the Instagram page, I I went up to Jay. I was like, hey, I can't find Louis. Can you type in and make sure we have the right name? I was like, I need to put him on here. He has to be one of the first 5. It made me follow 5 people, and Louis had to be one of them.
Yeah,
And
100%.
So I appreciate you, Louis. I appreciate you staying through this with us all. I know like you're probably one of the biggest supporters we have, bro. So I really appreciate you. I know we haven't met, but for sure soon we probably should link up and maybe have some ideas. You've been with us since the beginning, so at that point you'll probably have some good ideas for us to.
I gotta show you some of our music too, because I don't think that
yeah.
you've heard it.
You know what? I told myself, I was like, bro, we post on your YouTube, but I was like, how many songs? I think I've only listened to like 2 of your songs, but it was a very brief thing.
And you know what's crazy is the songs on my YouTube are definitely like. A lot of the times, and this is not a good habit, and I hate that I did this, right? Because looking back on it, it probably wasn't like the smartest route to go, but all of the songs that I shot music videos for were songs that I didn't care about, because all of the songs that I did care about, I knew what I wanted the video to be, and I knew I couldn't do it. You know, I had like this whole like theatrical shit, right? Fucking $1 million music video planned out in my head, and I couldn't do it, so I never wanted to shoot for like what I feel are like my best songs.
Yeah, there's
so everything that's on my YouTube is like my throwaway songs, but it's all the shit that people end up listening to because it's got the music video.
Yeah, so you didn't put your best stuff out there because that weekend you were gonna film that video. There wasn't a yacht available, right, for you to.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was just like, okay, let me just shoot to this song right here because I don't really care about it. It's whatever, you know. It's just kind of like, some like rap, I don't want to say freestyle, but just not really a very like focused song. So. If you've only heard the music on my YouTube, you probably haven't heard my best stuff, and you should definitely, not only to him, but you should definitely go check out my albums on all streaming platforms, on Spotify and Apple Music. Shameless plug here, because definitely the album songs do not have videos. The ones that like I feel like made the albums.
Okay, we gotta make it a thing for sure.
Me and Louis have an unreleased album, right, and we're definitely gonna drop it this year. I mean, me and him have already talked about it, and he's definitely behind the scenes on his stuff, has like actually been making changes in his life. And so I don't know if that's from the podcast or that's just from him, but definitely he's on that journey with us right now too, self-improving and trying to be the best version of himself. And I just want to say I'm proud of you too, Louis, because you are, moving all the steps, especially if you look at where he was last year, you look at where I was last year, like, we both done a lot to come up here. So we're going to finally drop me and his album, which has always been like my favorite project I've ever done. And I've always wanted to do it. I just felt like Louis wasn't ready to drop it. And now he's telling me like, yeah, I'm going to be ready. And I'm like, okay, cool. We can put everything behind it that I want to put, because I am one of those people. I don't want to just drop the music if I can't put the proper push behind it.
Hey, he said play Go Too Far. And I don't know if we can do it here.
He's not on that song, so I'm not going to play that song. But it's another song that I haven't dropped with another one of my homies. One-off physical releases. What does that mean? I'm confused by that.
He wants you to make him a mixtape.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Make like a one.
Or a vinyl. That'd be. Is there a way to do that? That'd be dope.
That would definitely be dope. Maybe we'll do it for Under the Influence, because it is like one of my favorite projects that I've done, and it's definitely like he said exactly. I'm not on it. It's definitely a fun project. That's the thing. It's almost like it's serious, but it's not serious. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's deep, but it's very fun, and it was a good experience making that project. A lot of good memories. So I'm excited to finally drop that. And like I said, if you haven't listened to my projects on streaming platforms, I urge you to do that rather than looking at what I shot music videos for, because all of those songs are just like my kind of whatever. It's like
those are the easy songs to make visions for, but there's a more kind of artistic visions that you had. There's at the time, I'm sure they just weren't attainable at the time. So
I mean, even now, a lot of those songs, like, I'm like, I wish I could shoot the music video for this, but it's just not
right? The perfectionist in
Yes, the perfectionist in me like stopped me from shooting videos to the best songs, and I ended up shooting them to, I don't want to say like the worst, but like my songs that I really didn't like care about,
Yeah, another thing too is so like going based off of that, like I know like you were saying that like Louis on his like personal like his own journey, right, to trying to get better, and at the same time too, yes, I feel like, man, we have a few homies that we talk to, and they follow up with us. Like shout out Brandon, like we were on the phone with, well, I know you probably talked to Brandon a little bit more than I do, but me and Brandon
Yeah.
were on the phone for like 30, 45 minutes the other day. And all he was talking about was his point of view and how he thinks that little changes in the podcast will be better. And so it's all like, it's so dope to have like these people that are reaching out and helping us in their own ways. And not only that, but like also the homies that like they are taking stuff from this, right? Shout out Luis, bro, one of the homies at the dealership that he tells me that he watches. He has his own grass cutting business, right? So if anybody needs grass cutting, I mean, definitely hit us up so we can get you in touch with Luis, right? So he goes and he does that, but he says that while he's cutting the grass, he listens to our podcast. And so it's kind of dope just to have that, knowing that like, hey, somebody's taking something from something. You know, we have certain people that will quote certain things in the podcast, and we both know like, hey, that was at the end of the podcast. You had to get to the end.
Yeah.
The whole hour long.
You
podcast.
really listen to it, you know?
Yeah. So it's so dope to have that. Not only the support, but also like the camaraderie to feel like, hey, we're actually doing something right. Like we're not trying to act like we're experts. We're not. We're figuring this out. There's no rule book. I don't know if you got a rule book when you were born, when you were a baby, but I didn't. Right. So we're all figuring this out together. Right. So it's so dope to have these people who, not only they feel comfortable enough with us to try to help us, right, and help us get better in our journeys, but also like to take the things that we talk about and apply them to their own lives, and then also hold us accountable, right? Like we talked about that story that Luis held you accountable in the back with the sodas, right? There's certain things that Luis, me and Luis will see each other at the gym, and then like we have real quick conversations. He'll be like, bro, he's like, have you been losing weight? And he's like, it's even like giving somebody their flowers, and he's like, bro, like you look good. He's like, keep it up, bro. He's like, and it's such a community thing that it feels. We all struggle, right? I've said this before. We all struggle, right? But just because you struggle doesn't mean you have to do it alone, right? We have to have our groups. We have to have our community. We have to have the people who are gonna support us, right? Man, I told you this morning, like the self-doubt this morning was hitting hard, was hitting super hard. Like I don't know why. Like I was just in my head, and I'm like, damn, like what are we doing this for? I'm like, like, man, I'm like, do people think we're stupid? And I'm like, what? And then, like, I snapped out of it, right? It was real quick, and I was like, what am I talking about? Like, I need to chill. And then one of my old managers hit me up, text me. He's like, keep doing you. He's like, I'm proud of you. And then, like, I was just like, that was like God's way of snapping back into like, all right, like, we have a mission. We're on the right track, and we just need to keep on pushing, right? Maybe something's in my head telling me that we shouldn't be doing it, but that's definitely not the voice I need to listen to, right? So it's been good. It's been like really, really like a positive thing around us. I don't think we've had any really negative feedback from anybody other than that one time that we talked about. But
Yeah. You know what? And I think that you're feeling that for the first time, right? And me doing music for so long, like I kind of already went through like those motions, you know. And this is a little bit. It's me showing a side of myself that I previously hadn't, but I've kind of learned to just kind of be okay with, you know, sharing how I feel and not, you know, giving a fuck what really like happens with it, you know, or after what people say. But it's funny to hear other people's reaction to it, right? Because I forget that I guess maybe it's not normal to people. Like my little sister, right? Whenever I was talking about the topic of the show, she's like, wow, she's like, you're very strong to like talk about like your body dysmorphia or whatever. And like to me, I'm like, it didn't really seem like a big like thing, but I guess yeah, you know, a lot of people are like kind of scared to get and get, especially on a public platform like this, record it and just kind of talk about their feelings, how they feel about things. Like it's normal, you know. Especially
for men, it's hard to be vulnerable, bro. It's hard to tell. It's hard. I think I'm a certain way now, but like, cause I built the person I am today. I'm definitely not the person I was, you know, 5 years ago, even, or let's say even 10 years ago is crazy to think about, like the growth there. But at one point I was very much the person that I really cared a lot about what other people thought about me, you know. I always have a quote. I had a quote that I put on one of my IG posts a long time ago that I don't know, somewhere along the lines, I went from a boy trying to make somebody proud to a man trying to prove somebody wrong. But either way, I get shit done, right? And so it's very much like the way I see things is like now I made myself into a person that like I'm a whole lot stronger, bro. I'll put stuff out there because I know nobody can take the things I am away from me because it's self-built. I know, like, I did have help, right? I know we talked about it last time, but it's one of these things, like, nobody can take these things away from me because I built this, the person I am, right? And so it's easier for me to talk about these things, but I hope that somebody else hears this stuff. They hear this stuff and they say, you know what, like, maybe they are right. Maybe I am struggling with something. Maybe I do need to find a friend that's gonna, help me through this stuff, right? I have a homie that I just came from seeing, bro, and like, me and him used to put some gym content together, right? And we used to want to do similar things to this, right? And I was talking to him about like he's pretty much just complacent, right? Like he wants something better, but he doesn't. He just didn't have the motivation behind it, right? And he said he was praying for a sign, and then I had a whole conversation. It was kind of like a slap. I ain't gonna lie. It was like I care about you, right? And then so I need to tell you these things. And I'm like, bro, you need to believe the things that God says about you, right? Like you have these passions in your heart for a reason, right? So why would God put these things in your heart for you just to like sit around and not do anything about it, right? Like if you want something, what are you doing to get there, right? And I'm not saying you're gonna get it tomorrow. It's not Amazon Prime where it's gonna show up in your doorstep in 3 hours, right? If you want to pay $5.99 for it, but it's very much, hey, like if you want it, you can go out and achieve it. And I think if you achieve it the hard way, it almost feels like so much more like it means more because you knew the struggle that came out of it, so it's a beautiful thing. It's hard talking about these things, but I hope somebody's going to get something from it, right? And I hope somebody's going to get better from it. That's really the reason we're doing this is.
Yeah, sometimes the only way that you can get better is to have those tough conversations with people. Maybe have those tough conversations with yourself too, but definitely sometimes it has to be a slap in the face conversation. And Louis knows that too. I mean, well, I've got into it with him. I've got into it with my other friends because I am very much that person who will see the flaws in shit and call it out, whether or not like you're gonna be happy about it. But it's not because it's not because I dislike you for it. It's because I want to see the best version of you.
Yeah.
I want to see the best version of myself. And whatever I might spew out at you, understand that I'm 10 times harder on myself, like in my own mind.
I do have people in my life that I think it's hard to try to help them because I know we've talked about it too in the past. Is like it almost feels like an attack. It almost feels like, hey, you're trying to change me, and it's not like that. It's like I have a high standard for myself as a person because I want to be better, and I'm not saying I'm perfect because I'm not. We've talked about it. We're two imperfect people trying to get better, and hopefully somebody gets something from it, right? But it's so hard sometimes to accept. Like you have to be willing to accept some of these things that somebody who cares about you is gonna say. So it's like I have homies that like you try to be like, hey bro, like why don't you do this, or like why are you this way? Like can you like think about it this way, or like you try to help them and then they feel like it's an attack, and it's hard because maybe they just haven't had that outlet before in their lives. Maybe it was my problem too because I know I can be a little aggressive about it sometimes, but I'm just somebody who cares. I care a lot about the people who are in my life. And if I care about myself a lot, right? To know that I have to be aware of the certain things that are going to be my downfall if I don't take care of them. But I also want to surround myself with people just like that too, like imperfect people trying to be better. I'm not looking for perfect people to be in my life. It's not what it is. But I do want to support the people who are in my life, and it's hard because I know that we're all just trying to figure it out. I know there are certain times that I'm trying to tell somebody something that maybe they don't want to hear, and I always try to start out with like, hey, I love you, right? I hope you know this is coming from the best place in my heart, but I think that this is not working. I think we need to change this. I think, and this is very much because I want better for you. I want you to succeed. I want something for you, maybe more than you want it for yourself, because I see the potential in you. And it's hard to have these conversations with people because certain people just won't get to the level with other people, It's they're very much closed-minded and almost like they want to live like that island by themselves.
Yeah. It does. Sometimes you do kind of have to back people in a corner. And then the only thing that you can do after that, if somebody doesn't want to listen to you, is just kind of like back away and let them, find out firsthand.
Let them fail.
Yeah, because if you will somebody might build resentment to you. You just constantly kind of like ridiculing them, and you do kind of have to find that balance and know when it's like, okay, look, you're not taking what I'm saying the right way. I'm gonna just back out and like let you figure it out, because eventually you'll figure out what I was trying to tell you, So as long as you surround yourself, like you said, with like-minded people, if you're already in that mindset and you find other people, in that mindset, you'll end up, getting shit done, like, what we're doing. And we do also have to hold each other accountable too, and realize, as much as we're speaking about this like in the third person, kind of, speaking about it, if it was someone else, with each other, we do also have to keep ourselves in accountable for the things that we said we're going to do, like the content next month. Like, we can't make excuses with that.
And and another thing too is I wanted to like implement real quick is like just because I know these things and I talk about these things like multiple times, that we say these things all the times, but I still have to be reminded of these things, right? And I can only remind myself so many times, especially when you're mad. Like, I know there's some situations with us this week where like, man, like I was pissed off at the managers, right? And I was just seeing red. And so sometimes it is hard to hold myself accountable to the things that I find dear to my heart, the little values I have in my life that I try to stand by. So it's cool to have that community around you, to teach them the same things, right? To have like core values or like in these people, so they can hold us accountable in our weak points, bro. Because as like, you can hit me with my own line and I know it will hurt so much more, because it's like I use your own thing against you, and like, what are you doing? Because you taught me this, so how are you going to use it for your life? And it's almost like a slap in the face, like, damn, like, you're right. Like, you ever have a homie yelling and you're like, bro, calm down, you just slap him and he's like, okay, I'm chill. Like, I don't know, like, I've had that happen before, right, way back when, but it's very much like the same thing.
I have not been in that situation, but my homies have. Apparently, I wasn't there, but some shit like that happened, right?
So you gotta snap them.
Some slaps were made to each other, and everybody kind of calmed down after.
Whoa. Yeah. A couple desk pops real quick, something. Let's calm each other down, but. It's dope, bro. It's very much dope that to have these things, to put these things out there, right? And like, I even put a reel out there, right? That the last reel we put, and then it's very much like, hey, like, you're like, oh, but we're gonna work on it, right? At the end, you talked about how maybe I say some things that I probably shouldn't say, or in a way that I shouldn't say it, and you're like, oh, but we're gonna work on it, right? So it's very much like, hey, like, sometimes you standing next to me in the meetings, and next time I do that, maybe you should throw an elbow into my fucking guts, and I can just be like, okay, maybe you're right, because there are times you're like, hey, bro, don't even let that guy get to you, whatever, blah blah blah, or whatever it is. And sometimes I do need that, because sometimes I won't lie, sometimes I am looking for trouble because I'm bored. That's very much it sometimes. So it's to be self-aware and to have the homies around you that also know you and know how you work is definitely like a support that I think all men should at least try to have, right? So that community.
Okay, since we started off with like, talking about our goals for the last month, it's about to transition into the next month. With everything that we know right now and everything that happened into the last month, what are we going to do this month to, one, achieve our new goals, right? Because we're about to set them. And then what are we going to do different to make sure that we kind of get closer to where we wanted to be at? Let's start off with the sales, because what we started off with, right? Maybe your goal might have been a little too high.
Yeah, no,
last month. What do you think this month you can do realistically?
I think I'm gonna try to do just 20.
20? I like 20, and I think that's very, very achievable for you without having to kill yourself.
And you know what's funny is that, like, what was it, Thursday? I was at 9. Right now I think I'm at like 14 and a half. So if I wanted to hit 20, like, it's very much like in 2 days, I probably could get pretty close if I really tried and did everything right. But that would have also like taken me picking up leads today, and I haven't done that. I've taken the time to be with my friends and family, and so it's it has to be balanced, right? So I think 20 is a solid number where like I can feel confident and say that I did something right, because I know I'm still going to be putting time and effort into other things. So that's a more realistic goal there. That's it's definitely achievable. I've hit 20 in 15 days, so it's definitely something that is very much achievable. I think the biggest thing is that I was hard on you this month about picking up leads. And then another thing too is you were kind of hard on me too. You're like, hey, every time I get up, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Like, go sit at your desk and pick up the rest of the leads. Well, I'm not picking them up. Mm-hmm. And what did I do? I didn't do that, right? And it's very much me like wandering, and it was me at the time a little unhappy with being at work, I guess. So it was like I was kind of avoiding the work that the results were in, right? That we talk about. So I think I need to be more adamant about picking up the leads, because yes, I can live off of my Facebook posts and all the other stuff, right? But to get to these goals that I'm trying to achieve, I have to have like another route for these customers. So I think we just need to double down on that, double down on the like something that we already know works, and we have to just put more energy into it, because I didn't get to reap any of the benefits of doing this other than a couple quick deals. So I'm gonna work on doing that, and then the time management. I think I'm just gonna try to keep on conquering myself with the time management. I think I need to with time management and my fitness goals. I think I'm gonna make it a point to start going in the mornings before work and waking up early enough that I actually get everything I need to get done in 4 days instead of having to go for that fifth day. So I can kind of plan out the rest of my week too and have time for that.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think I'm gonna still do 15. I'm at 11 right now, which I mean, maybe I'll get a couple more. I mean, I could get 15 right if I really like went all out crazy. Like you said, if I picked up leads today, which it was like a bonus and shit too. If you pick up a lead and sell it tomorrow, Tuesday, but
I didn't see the email.
You didn't see that email? Yeah, you get like $100 extra if you pick up a lead today and sell it either today or tomorrow. And if it's a Tundra, it's like $50 extra too. But besides the point, right? I think I'll probably like scratch it. I'll probably get close. Maybe I'll finish with like 12, 13. And I'll be short like 2 cars, right? I could have hit it. But next month, I think that I can for sure do it, with the leads and, kind of figuring out my time management and balancing out, waiting outside for fresh up. Because I did realize, I was like, okay, I got to do both. I can't just do leads.
Yeah.
And my manager is actually the one who told me that. He's like, you need to do both. He's like, because you're not going to make any money off of the internet shit. Mm-mm. He's like, so if you want to get the money makers, you're going to go out there and find, people who are just fresh in the market. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to do a little bit of both and go back and forth. And that'll also make me less burnt out too, right?
Yeah.
If I can have like set up my mornings especially on the weekends, right? Set up my mornings to get my appointments, right? And then in the afternoon, I can kind of just go pick up somebody once I've already sold something, and I'm already feeling like the hype, and that set will be kind of easy. And there's not like all this pressure and stuff on me to just get something out, because I've already got my deal done. Okay, and anything else is just extra. So I think that for sure, this month I can do my 15, and then personal goals. What do you want to do this month?
You know what is I do want to for the social media, because I've been the one who has the TikTok and then the Instagram account, right? I need to, now that we have that going, I need to figure out how to make the clips myself, because I know I've been kind of relying on you to do that, right? But I need to have some more. I need to have some more content for myself to post it, so I'm not like reaching out to you and kind of like, there's certain days where like you're gonna be busy, right? Like and like I know when it's just two of us, we can't really rely on each other for like solely on that stuff, because there has to be stuff that goes into that later on. So I think I'm gonna figure out how to do the clips myself, right? And I know it's not that hard. I'll figure that out. It's just very much putting the time into doing that. And then other than that, I mean, are we gonna make I know we've already made the. We already made the TikTok. We made the Instagram, right? I had a homie that said, "Are we posting on Apple the podcast and all that stuff?" And I was like, I guess not." I had a homie that said like he listens to podcasts, he don't watch them. So he was asking if we have like what we post.
If they're on Apple Podcasts,
or like I don't know how we would do that, but I guess we could figure it out. Look into that stuff too.
Just a distribution company, but yeah, we can look into that, and I'll show you what it would look like.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, right? But just kind of expanding these things. Other than that, I think it's just more about getting more stuff done, and that goes into my time management stuff. So just being better about doing the posts on social media, being more consistent on that, because I know it's gonna be. Oh, and then the work content, bro. Getting out of my comfort zone and doing work content. That's for sure. I want to do it. For sure. I know I need to do it. I think it's only going to help us, especially with this stuff too, because I mean, think about it. If we go big off of if we have a funny clip on for our work stuff, people are going to click on our profiles. They're going to see all of our other stuff, and it's only going to translate into other things that we do in life. So, and start having fun with it, bro. Maybe we don't have fun with it because we're stuck in the same things that we do every day that aren't fun, right? But we can definitely have a little bit more fun with it. I think that's
Get back to having fun selling cars. Yeah, we definitely need to do that.
Yeah, and you know what it is too, is that almost I need to work for my work goals. I need to work on working on the hard deals, right? The ones that maybe take a little bit more a little bit more elbow grease, because I've tried to teach you that,
I'm
like
gonna
when
call it elbow grease whenever the bend yourself over backwards and fold
Yeah.
yourself 4 times deals.
Yeah, and but you know what it is too, is almost taking the time to explain certain things to customers, because I very much sometimes will just leap to the all right, let's just stop while we're ahead, you know. And when sometimes people just need a little bit more explaining to, you know. See, people need to get that little explanation.
Please
broken
stop
down.
inquiring on white Grand Highlanders with brown interior because we don't have any. Nobody else has any.
Hey,
And that's why you can't find them.
and another thing too, bro, is like
I get so many leads on them, bro. It's so annoying. And I'm like, I sold one and I'm like, I never want to do this again. Like, I'm done with it. Like, it took 3 weeks to get that vehicle. I cashed in a favor to, with Brandon to get that car.
yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and go find 4 or 5 more for everybody else too. Like, no, especially when they were like, oh, I'm also comparing you guys to this. I'm like, you're not comparing me to anybody because nobody else has one. Everybody else is just giving you make believe numbers because nobody has the vehicle anyway. So
Yeah.
they can throw you whatever number. Like, oh yeah, we'll do it for 50 grand out the door. Like,
Sure,
just
buddy.
come in. Yeah, they don't even have it.
Yeah, yeah, and then they want you to do all the work. We've talked about, oh, you want us to do all this work for free, right?
Yeah.
And so it's almost everybody's gonna want to pay less, right? It's almost finding that little median where everybody's happy, right? And that's kind of our job. Man, even Ricardo, little Ricardo hit me up with a line the other day, and he was saying, I forgot what he said. But he's very much on his journey to figure out how to sell cars too, and he said something specific in it, and he almost like used my own like line against me, and I was like, damn, like, and so he's starting to learn certain things. I'm like, man, maybe I need to get back to the basics on how to do this stuff, because I very much am. I always say that I work less hard now in the business now because I'm so much better than I was in the past. And it shouldn't be that way. Imagine if I was working just as hard as I was in the beginning, and now I have the skill set that I have. I would have been at the 30 car mark if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Be, So it's maybe taking it back down to the basics and doing things a little bit more. Be a little bit more attentive to the customers, right? Because I definitely have not had that servant mindset in the past to kind of help customers, make them feel a little bit more comfortable about it, and maybe that's something I need to have a little bit more. A little self-awareness of, still have that where I'm a person too, but still kind of help people and make them feel comfortable about the decisions they're making,
And then we can do the fitness goals, right? Well, my personal goal, like I said, I said earlier in the podcast, I'm going to keep it the same. I just want to get a song done. I want to get a really good song done. And, hopefully I can do that this month. For the fitness goals, I feel like we need to weigh ourselves in all honesty and like set them out. Because I know we're both trying to like get a little bit lean.
Mm-hmm.
And if we really, really, really want to go out of our way, which might be a little bit uncomfortable, even I would be kind of like, don't want to share this information over the internet. But we can go get our body fat percentage calculated.
I would not want to see it.
Yeah, exactly right. You're like, oh fuck, that's a little too far. But yeah, in all honesty, we might have to get that done and kind of see what we're really hitting at.
Yeah, and maybe we can like film that too. Like maybe not have it in the live.
Yeah, but like a clip, 100%.
Or post it on the social media so people can see it and other people can hold us accountable too. But it's very much I keep on. I'm trying to be happy with the steps I'm making at the pace I'm going right now in my fitness journey, right? Because I know it's not a what is it? It's a marathon, not a
race
or a sprint or whatever. So at that point, it's I know it's all day by day, and so I haven't been trying to weigh myself because I know every single time I start weighing myself, I start getting unhappy about it because I like if I don't see the number move, I start getting mad, But I think it's definitely something I need to.
We'll have small goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. It's not like we're trying to lose 30 pounds in a month, but like if we say, okay, we're gonna lose 5 pounds next month. Which I think was the goal this month, and I probably lost maybe 2.
Yeah, we have to have a starting point. So you're right.
Yeah.
Like what are we calculating?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if we're gonna set the goal at 5 pounds for our fitness goals, we gotta. I think that's a fair goal for both of us. You know what I mean? If you want to do 5 pounds this month.
5 pounds. I could. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm down. I kind of want to do more. No, 5 pounds is cool.
5 pounds.
5 pounds, and with everything else, I'm working out less.
And
I have
not
to be realistic.
starving yourself.
Realistically, yes.
Yes, of course. If you
Yeah.
fucking didn't want to eat for the next week, you could lose 5 pounds in a week. I'm talking about like a legit, you lost 5 pounds because you ate cleaner. You still ate, but you ate cleaner and you worked out harder and lost 5 pounds. Not just fucking weight draining yourself and shit. Like, you're going to do the weigh-ins and then, you know, next month you start eating regular again and it's like, it's back. You know, like a legit 5 pounds of fat. Like, you know, retaining your muscle, losing 5 pounds of fat.
And you know what it is too is that I think these are just like small changes in our life that we can make and that don't have to be that drastic, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I know that if I cook, like I like certain things in my life that I eat all the time and I buy them all like from different places, whatever. But if I just realize how to cook them myself to make them a little bit healthier, like it could probably make a little bit better of a difference, you know. And so there's definitely things that we could small changes in our life, right? And it's definitely something that we at least need to start off with that BMI, the body mass index. I think that would definitely hurt my feelings a little bit, but I think it's definitely necessary to have a starting point at least, you know. So we should do that. We definitely should. It's gonna be something getting out of our comfort zone, right? But that's why we're here. So at that point, I'm down. I'm down. I'm gonna say we're down. We're gonna figure it out when one of these days when we have the same day off, we can go to like a Rocks or something like that.
Yeah, Rox does it. That's why I went the last time to get mine done.
Yeah, we probably just have to buy a pre-workout or something, but I need one anyway. So
No, you don't need to buy nothing, but we can.
yeah, I'm not gonna go in there for free. You know? It's like somebody say, "Hey, can I test drive a car?" I'm not buying today. Like, nah, I gotta buy something.
Okay,
Dog, you know?
yes. Yeah, we don't want to be those guys. All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll go buy. You know what? I'm about to run out of creatine. I'll go buy some creatine.
Hey, take your creatine. Take your creatine every day.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think we kind of got to end it here.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time is on this one, but it
It's,
feels like it was a little long.
Oh, a little long.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next Sunday for episode 6. And let us know if you have any topics. Reach out to us. Anything you want us to talk about.